Tonight, the radio scanner traffic from emergency dispatchers. The night Summer Wells disappeared. Take a listen.
Being around from 110, 110 Ben Hill Road off of Beach Creek should be the first residence on your right. Reference to a missing 4-year-old. The parents have called in and advised that the mother had went for a walk, came home, now they can't find her. They've been yelling for her. She's been gone for about 10 minutes now.
So Summer Wells' Sabbath school teacher, Robin Lane, spoke with Fox News. She recalled the night of June 15th when Summer vanished. I was taking my little girl's pictures before her dance class. I noticed I was missing calls from Summer's mom, Candus. Before I even had a chance to call her, she messaged me on Facebook Messenger, and she was in a panic mode. She said, "Summer's gone. We can't find her anywhere. The police are here searching." I said, "I'll be right there." Robin told Fox she arrived at Beach Creek around 9 p.m. I was ready. I was like, let's do this. Let's get the flashlights out. Let's get some snacks. And it was going to be an all-nighter. And law enforcement wouldn't even let us go up there. Robin confirmed police were blocking the entrance to Ben Hill Road. We showed them some pictures of Summer, and the police didn't have very good pictures of her. Some of them hadn't even seen a picture of her yet. Later that night, she was granted access to the Wells home. At that point, there's really nothing I could do. They just needed someone to pray with them. You really feel helpless in that situation because you want to do something, but we couldn't. So we prayed, we hugged on them and loved on the boys, and they were shattered and as confused as I was. Now, am I crazy, or did I miss something? Because family friend David Dotson spoke with Teresa on YouTube channel Unmasked, and this is his recollection of what happened that night.
During the day, I had spent the day with my daughter and took my daughter out to eat. And about 7:30 that evening, I was at home, and Summer's mother had called me. And she said, "David, we have an emergency. Summer is missing." And she was also trying to reach another one of our church members. Her name is Robin, and she was unable to get a hold of Robin, so she called me and see if I could try to get a hold of Robin for her. We were able to get a hold of Robin, and Robin and myself, we made our way out to their home. I'd never been out to their home before. I had to get the address from them. But by the time we got out there, it might have been about, oh goodness, maybe 8:30 or so. And there was a high police presence. There were aircraft already in the air. They had the police dogs out. There was probably about 100 search and rescue personnel, fire department already out there when we arrived. Well, when we arrived there was so much going on already. There was a huge police presence already up at the house. And so, I mean, the dogs were already kind of walking around, looking around. And, but as far as I can't remember I don't remember them coming up and like barking at me or anything. Cause I mean, they had never seen me there before. And, I was, did they come up and start growling at me or anything like that? No, they didn't. And as far as like just barking at me, they didn't even like run up and start barking. Like I said, there were so many people already on the property by the time I got there that evening.
I know she didn't walk away from this property by herself or off this yard by her swing. I feel in my heart that somebody has came up here and took her, has lured her away from here. Me and my mother and her were planting flowers. And we went in after we got done washing our hands, and she got a piece of candy from Grandma, and she wanted to go back over and see her brothers. And I said, okay, and I walked her all the way over to the porch, and I watched her walk into the kitchen where the boys were watching TV. And I told the boys, I said, watch Summer, I'll be back. And within 2 minutes I came back, and I asked the boys where their sister was, and they said, she went downstairs, Mom, to play with her toys in the playroom. I said, okay. And I yelled downstairs for her a couple times, and I didn't get no answer, which was unusual because usually she always answers me. And so I went down there to check, and she was nowhere in sight. She was just gone.
Okay.
From our yard.
Okay. It was cold. I was gonna make a fire. There's a lot of wood in this area right here next to our house. I opened up the back gate. I'm throwing wood, bringing it inside the house. My wife's inside. She was actually wrapping gifts, so we thought it was a good idea that they got our youngest to go outside and play with chalk on the back patio. Do not let them go on the dirt in the backyard. We keep them close. So I was playing with chalk, and I came in the house. I saw them there. I went in the house. I came back out. I didn't see them now.
So somewhat of a bizarre interview. And I don't think there's anyone that I know from law enforcement that didn't find that interview at least disturbing and somewhat, a little bit pointing guilt at the parents.
Yeah, my personal opinion is it's maybe some human trafficking ring seen her on Facebook and tracked her down, like some kind of, that somebody is taking her out of the area, and I don't know whether a human trafficking ring or what or who, but I knew from the first day she wasn't in the area.
Knowing that someone abducted her and the cops are looking all around her house, knowing that she's not there, it's like you just talking to yourself. This ain't doing no good. But I wish the police would have blocked off both ends of Beach Creek and everything else and kept it contained in our area, because I'm sure she's hundreds of miles away. I can't blame them or whatever, but I'm upset. I'm really upset, But it's too little, too late now. I've had several people sneaking around there, though, and we've had them sneaking around at night, in the middle of the night. Yeah. We've never had somebody up there at 5:30 in the afternoon that we know of, But they didn't come up the driveway. They come up a dog trail from the woods.
Oh, okay.
They didn't come up the driveway. And that dog that they used, that's where the scent took them, was down through the woods, not the driveway.
Everybody has suggestions, and 99.9% of these we've already taken care of, and they're unfounded. And we've checked the residents numerous times, the area, around the flower pots where everybody keeps talking about, that's in pots, that's not put in the ground, and just the things that people that speculate, we've already checked. We're checking everybody's alibi. We're checking with the neighbors, everybody on the road, all the vehicles, and we've checked a lot of things that we're not divulging to the public.
The guy, Don Wells, we discussed this on a previous case. He's no stranger to law enforcement. I think he's taken like 6 or 7 collars across different state lines. He's got some heavy duty issues. He's been arrested being drunk with a gun, domestic violence, and a host of other crimes. So,
have a domestic with assault, 110 Benhill Road, 110 Benhill Road, off Beach Creek Road.
10-4, is there any lower end guy that can get that?
6.
We're practically on scene right now with the shooting.
Can you do out to 110 Benhill Road off Beach Creek? Have a domestic with assault.
10-4, been route. 4336, I'll give you a call.
parties are intoxicated. The female is refusing to leave the residence. They're in a verbal at this time. The unit route to Big Hill Road. We're advised that there are 4 small children in the residence. There's also a couple other parties. She's in the back bedroom. Advised there's not a door that locks. Callers advising the male may be walking down the road, gray shirt and blue jeans.
Okay. Possible direction of travel.
Not sure. Advised he's very intoxicated. Female laid the phone down, walked away from it. Sounds like the male's back in the residence. She's yelling, "Ow," and "Stop."
The city county units prepared a copy of Bolo for a white DMC Sonoma, Utah tag. Led from 110-110 Ben Hill Road, headed towards Church Hill. Reference to a domestic. Male's intoxicated. He was called back in. Their sergeant advised we can clear the perimeter.
She was thinking one thing and I was thinking another, you know, but once we got to talk and figured things out, you know, we smoothed it all out. I mean, it's just we weren't on the same page, a lack of communication. As we were fighting, of course, you know, people are going to tell the police whatever to get their way. You know, we worked it out. She's apologized to me. She even talked to the judge and told him that she made a serious mistake, and you know, and that's the end of it. She didn't get hurt, and I never hurt nobody.
He comes across as, you know, almost priestly in the way he talks, that soft, you know, measured speech. But when he came up with some of the things like, "Oh, I hope she's not in some basement. I think she was abducted." You know, that's when you hear someone say that, that is definitely raises red flags. Like, how do you know that? And why would you say that? You know?
Right. But statistically speaking, I mean, there's a good chance she's already dead.
But 99.9% of things that people are posting or saying, we've already looked into and taken care of. There's no person of interest. And like I said, everybody's a suspect now. Everything's on the table, and our main focus is to find someone and bring her home.
I'm upset. I've just made the decision. I made up my mind not to let Satan win.
Could it be